Alright, I decided that I was going to make a reaction video. So, here we go. Now, the Steelers, they beat the Jets 34-32. It was great. But I have a lot of thoughts. So let's just get into it. Now, first and foremost, this is only week 1. So, anything I say very well could change within the next 5 weeks or so. It's a long season. There's a long way to go. So, let's talk about the offense first, because I'd say that's probably, the more interesting side of things. It's definitely the newer of the two groups. The offense. Aaron Rodgers really looked like he turned back the clock in this game. He looked really solid. He looked like an NFL quarterback. He had about 250 passing yards. He had 4 touchdowns. And overall, the offense was really smooth going. I really don't have many complaints about the offense. If I had to pick one, it's probably the play calling, especially in that first half. Didn't love some of the play calls there. Especially considering, in the running game, they were using a lot of Kenneth Gainwell in that first half. Now, in the second half, Jaylen Warren, who was recently paid, did become the feature back. But especially in that first half, they weren't really using him, which confused me. Moving on to the receiving side of things, DK Metcalf, I have no complaints for his Steeler debut. He had 4 receptions, including 2 big ones. He had 2 really nice receptions, 2 runs after the catch, I should say. And he did have a couple drops, though. I should mention, he did have a couple drops, though. His first target was a really bad drop, but then they went right back to him. And he did great, I thought. Well, maybe not great, but he did fine. For his first game in the black and gold, I think he did fine. Calvin Austin, look, man, the Steelers, they have needed a number 2 receiver for years. And Calvin Austin very well could be that guy. I know they like him a lot. I like him a lot. He's very quick. And that guy was born to play in the slot. And he had a really nice catch over top of a defender, which led to the Jaylen Warren touchdown. And on his touchdown that he had, he slipped right by the defense, but I guess that'll happen when you're like 5'9". But I really like Calvin Austin. He had 4 receptions, 70 yards, something like that, and of course that touchdown I just mentioned. And I really like Calvin Austin, and I think he has a really good chance of becoming that number 2 receiver that the Steelers have needed for a while now. Other than that, Pat Freiermuth, he had a few grabs, a couple first down grabs. Not much other than that. Ben Skowronek, I think he only had 1 catch, but it was a touchdown. It was like a 22-yard touchdown. Jonnu Smith, he had a touchdown on that end-around thing because, Arthur Smith. And then Jaylen Warren, as I said before, he also had a touchdown. Moving on, let's talk about the defense, because I definitely have more to say about the defense. Oh, before that, let's talk about the offensive line. However, in particular, Broderick Jones. Oh boy, Broderick. You, sir, did not look good at all. Now, there were a couple sacks. I think the Steelers allowed 4 sacks in this game. 4 or 5. Now, the Jets have a good pass rush. Quinnen Williams, Will McDonald, a couple other guys. They have a good pass rush. But, the Steelers didn't really change much with the offensive line this offseason. So these guys, they're pretty familiar with one another. It's not going to take them as much time to gel together as a group like most units do. But that was bad. That was really bad. Now, there were a couple sacks that, were arguably on Rodgers. He kind of stepped up into the pressure at one point. However, Broderick, I can think of at least 2 of the sacks that were definitely on him where he just got beat bad. So Broderick, buddy, oh, right now you're looking like a bust, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty for you right now. If you keep playing this way, I would be very surprised if you're even on the team next year. I'm going to be honest. Troy Fautanu, I mean, it's too early to tell with him. He played 1.5 games last year. So it's hard to tell with him. But from what I saw, he looked okay. I wasn't yelling at him. So that should tell you all you need to really know about that. Now, let's move on to the defense, because I have a lot to say. This is the most expensive defense in all football. This defense has so many studs. Alex Highsmith, Cam Hayward, Jalen Ramsey, Patrick Queen. I really like Deshaun Elliott, who unfortunately got injured in this game. Seems to be a knee injury. We'll talk about that. And that's not even me mentioning TJ Watt. You cannot, in good faith, you cannot call yourselves the most expensive defense in football and allow 183 rushing yards. This is not just a one-off thing. This is something that has been happening. I remember last year, the Colts game. Last year, the second Ravens game in the regular season. The freaking playoff game where they allowed like 301 rushing yards. It's not just a one-time thing. This is a recurring trend. And it's bad, man. And look, I've had my opinions on Teryl Austin. I've never been the biggest Teryl Austin fan. I didn't love the hire at the time. And I still don't love him as a DC now. Because his defense is too heavily reliant on splash plays, turnovers. And when they don't get those turnovers, it's not good. It's not good. And that's when the Steelers usually get killed, is when they don't get those turnovers. But it's just really frustrating to watch this team that has all this talent continue to give up 183 rushing yards. It's really frustrating. With that being said, this is why the Steelers drafted Derek Carman in the first round. Now, obviously, as I mentioned before, he didn't play, or did I mention it? I don't remember. This is a re-record. I had to scrap the last one. So maybe I might have mentioned it in the other one. But regardless, they drafted Derek Carman in the first round for a reason. They wanted to stop the run. Nick Herbig, obviously, yes, he was inactive in this game, but you still expect better from the run defense. A rookie defensive tackle is not going to prevent you from giving up 183 rushing yards by himself. You got to be able to stop the run with the guys you have. That's a problem, that they can't do that as the most expensive defense in football. It's bad. But, as I said, it's only week 1. So things very well could change throughout the course of the season. Maybe they end with the best run defense in the league. I don't know. Right now, it's bad. What else should I talk about? Talked about the run defense. Justin Fields, he played very well in this game. So, shout out to him. I really hope he has a great season. I really do. I think the Steelers only had 1 sack in this game by Alex Highsmith. Maybe 2. Maybe TJ had another sack. I don't remember. Regardless. Other than that, I don't know what else to talk about. Special teams. I guess I'll talk about special teams. Special teams, I thought was great. Obviously, they stripped the fumble on that kickoff to pretty much start off the fourth quarter. And that changed the entire game. Because I thought at that point, Jets were probably going to go down, score another touchdown, run the ball right over our defense. So that strip fumble came at a really good time. And then, of course, the Steelers scored 2 touchdowns in like less than a minute. That was awesome. And then, of course, I can't not talk about this. Christopher Lynn Boswell. He is known as the Wizard of Oz for a reason. That man has saved countless jobs so many times. Appreciate having a good kicker, man. Appreciate having an excellent kicker because they don't come around often. Just ask teams like the Chargers and the Vikings. They don't come around often. So you gotta appreciate them when they do come. And the Wizard of Oz is an excellent kicker, and I'm very happy he is on my favorite team. Of course, nailing the 60-yard kicker to ultimately end up winning it. Other than that, I guess I don't have much else to say. I'm not sure when this is going to get uploaded because I'm having problems with my internet right now. I'm hoping to get this up around the same time my Pirates reaction. I already have that filmed. So I'm hoping this goes out at around that same time. If not, that's why. My internet is not cooperating right now. So I'm going to try and upload this when I can. Other than that, go Steelers.